TSM has now dropped below 190 per share as of the recording of this video. It may have bounced higher or lower depending on when you're watching this, but I think that's pretty significant. We haven't seen these levels since about 3-ish months ago when it was in the 180s for a brief period of time and then bounced right back up. And then we have to go all the way to early October before we see the share in the mid 180s. And I think this is pretty significant. Why? If you see my channel for any number of time, any substantial period of time, you know I absolutely love TSM. I love TSM. They're one of my favorite companies for a number of reasons. I mean, they've performed incredibly well recently since lows in 2022 at 70 a share. I mean, they've basically tripled since then. If you include dividend, it basically has hit that metric. And a lot of companies were hitting very low lows in 2022, so that's not anything crazy. But TSM, if you don't know, has an incredible moat, and they're really not that expensive. You can see the PE ratio is about 27.5. Let's dive a little bit deeper into that. So like I said, TSM is one of my favorite stocks. It's really easy to be on your good side when it's performed so well as of late, but it goes a little bit deeper than just stock price, stock share performance, why I really like TSM. And it's something, actually a number of things that don't show up on a balance sheet, don't show up in a PE ratio, but TSM has. One of them is an insanely high economic moat. And what do I mean by that? Economic moat is just the competitive advantage you have over other companies. TSM has an enormous moat. They just do, because there's only two other people that do what they do, the really advanced semiconductors. One of them does not make money, Samsung on it. They're not doing well. The other one is just getting started, Intel. So what they're doing is incredibly hard to pull off, and they're doing it also very well. It takes insane amounts of capital. It's the same thing with like a Boeing situation. No one can really compete with Boeing. I mean, there's Airbus and all that, but you can't just be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to start a aircraft design company. You can't do that because it takes billions and billions of dollars. Just one commercial airliner costs like $500 million. It's the same thing with TSM. One ASML machine is like $500 million. They're incredibly expensive. So that's a bit of a negative. Yeah, they're going to have a certain ceiling. They're never going to be able to do insane multiples like NVIDIA. However, you can still do way better than the average company. So they have an insane economic moat. And also, it's one of the most important things in the world. Advanced semiconductor fabrication is one of the most important things in the entire world. Without them, if TSM blew up tomorrow, be kissing a lot of your Microsoft shares, a lot of your, certainly NVIDIA shares, AMD, all those are bye-bye for the most part. So it's very, 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 very important. But let's look at some numbers. Let's see if this is actually decent. So what we see from PE, we can see 27. Forward PE about 21. Let's see if that's distorted a bit. It seems pretty accurate. So going off that 27 PE metric, we are actually, let's say, slightly cheaper than the S&P 500 last I checked, which to be fair was a couple months ago. I love how it disappeared on me, but we saw it was at 27. It was about 30 for the S&P 500, but even if you said it was even, this is still a company that has dramatically outperformed the S&P 500. Over the last 5 years, they've actually performed better than the S&P 500's last decade or so, because the S&P 500 is up about 200% in a 10-year time frame. TSM is up 250%. This is a company that has a crazy good moat, crazy important thing that they are doing, and they're at actually pretty solid value. The main reason you have that discount is they are not American. They're in, believe it or not, Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing is in Taiwan. And there's some, of course, always worries about China and that invasion, whatever may happen. I think that's rather unlikely, but that is my biggest indicator for why their PE ratio is not that high considering how well they've done. That, and then sometimes semiconductors are cyclical. However, with the AI boom, it seems to have bucked that trend, at least for now. We'll see if that continues long term, but even then I think they'll still grow faster than the average company. So where do I think? So I own a lot of TSM. I'm not buying at these levels, but it's because I don't have to buy at these levels. I already have a level of investment in TSM that I feel comfortable with, and because those shares have appreciated, actually, even though I love this company, I have plenty. So I'm not personally buying at these levels. However, if you sold all my shares and just punted them, you burn that money, I would be rather upset, but I would also probably sell some or put some money in and buy some more TSM at these levels. So I do like it. Of course, not investment advice. I'm not telling you what to do at all. But I think anything with these PE, if you're under 30 PE, I would be buying. I personally would be buying if I had no TSM and it was under 30. But that's just me. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed, I appreciate if you like and subscribe. I just want to do a quick update on TSM. I think at these levels, it's definitely interesting. Certainly if you get that 180, 175, and if it dipped down to 150, I think that's unlikely unless we see a broader semiconductor continue to go further. And honestly, a lot of the semiconductors aren't doing particularly hot right now. It depends on them. NVIDIA is doing fine, but there's quite a few that aren't. For example, AMAT, ASML is doing meh. So anyways, I think I covered what I want to. If you guys enjoyed, appreciate if you like and subscribe. I do daily stock content on this channel. I cover TSM, all sorts of others. Appreciate you for watching. I'll catch you next time.